There we go. Hopefully, hopefully we're live. Maybe this will come up for me in a second. Sometimes I never really know when we actually go live or not, so I always have to check in. What's up, guys? What is that sound? We got some. Where's that coming from? Oh, there we
I
go.
think it's the kitchen.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me tonight for another session of Inside the Game. We have moved inside because of the weather tonight with Dunwoody, a little overcast and cold and rainy. They did offer to set up some heaters for us, but I thought this was a pretty good setup, so we
like
do
it.
this. Yeah, let's do this
Smells
inside.
good in here too.
It does smell good in here, and we got the pinball machines. We actually have some people here watching, so good stuff. Well, yeah, welcome to Inside the Game. It's we are at Morty's, so if you want to come up and grab something good, we really do appreciate Morty's hosting us and being a great host for us. So David always does a great job. So real quick, I want to get this out of the way because I know Nina will kill me if I don't bring it up, and that is the Bring It Home campaign. If you have not heard, we are raising funds for the new stadium at Dunwoody. And Nina and her team have done a great job of pulling together the resources to get that thing a reality. We do have, a big contribution from one alumni, but we need to raise money independently of that contribution. So we want to make that thing a reality. If you haven't gone to it, check it out. The Bring It Home campaign. There's a website. Trey Lyda actually did a great presentation, a great video supporting the program, supporting Dunwoody and what the new stadium will bring to really everything that's happening within Dunwoody. And I would say that coming off the game from Friday night where we beat our number one rival, I guess,
Yep.
Chamblee, huge week for Dunwoody. Coach, talk about the 3 years in a row now that we beat Chamblee. Talk about the importance of that game to you and to the program.
Right. I mean, obviously they're our biggest rival, like you mentioned, but these past few years has been a region game as well. And then this year, I mean, it was huge playoff implications, so you got all those things. And then when you look at the county aspect, right, the Cab County, us and Chamblee are kind of not really outliers, but we're the northern part by ourselves part of the county, right?
Yep.
So it's good to kind of that we hold control of that northern part of the county as our own. So all those things, it was just a big night.
Huge night. Huge night. Never really in doubt. We were talking before we started. It was you could just feel it sometimes when a game starts, and that game just had it. Now we didn't put a lot of points up on the board early, but the drives were just consistent. And we'll talk to a couple of offensive linemen here in a second. Unfortunately, one is injured, but we'll talk about that in a second too. But the offensive line in the trenches established what we were going to do in that game, and that was run the ball. And we talked about it actually last week prior to the game about how important the running game was going to be. So maybe talk a little bit about some individual performances from the game, singling anybody out, and then what do you see, kind of the importance of that game?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you hit the nail on the offensive line. They dominated, and our tight ends, Charlie and Louie as well. Just dominated from start to finish. Our running backs, Cam and Bradley, had great nights, but it was started behind the offensive line. They're the kind of product of that. And it was, like you said, it was from start to finish. I mean, I joked. I was nervous middle of Friday. It all of a sudden hit me. All week I felt real good. Then midday Friday, I grabbed Coach Gentry and Coach Seth, and I was nervous a little bit. And I don't know why, because these boys had it. I mean, they were ready.
Well, good week of practice, right? Because you guys were talking about the great week of practice.
Great week of practice. Everything was going well. All of a sudden, midday Friday, the nerves hit me.
But you never know what you're going to get on a rivalry game, because Chamblee was 3-2 going into the game. Just we had the same record in region. We really had to get that game to confirm a playoff spot for us. Maybe at the fourth spot, the Shiloh game. We'll talk about that in just a minute. That will be a really deciding component between where we finish in the region, right? But again, the huge implications of the game. It was a Hall of Fame game. It was televised. In Atlanta, I had so many people texting me going,
Right.
"Oh my gosh, this game is fantastic." Just how many people were watching that game and how plugged in. And again, the Hall of Fame game and the number of guys that were there to watch was so cool.
Right, it was neat. I told the boys, I mean, I have all these new phone numbers saved now, just people that reached out to me saying, hey, I got your number from so-and-so. Just wanted to tell you it's the best I've seen Dunwoody football in 20 years. Hey, Coach, just wanted to give you a shout-out. This is so-and-so, great game. And, I mean, that means something because that's just organic. These guys are taking out their time. Obviously, I don't have their number saved, so we don't have too close of a relationship, whatever it is, and taking out their time over the weekend to reach out and just say what this football team, kind of showed them. So, and then, like you said, the Hall of Fame game with our own Harris Barton getting inducted and everything that was wrapped around that. it was a great weekend for Dunwoody football, 100%.
Yeah, if you get a chance to go back and watch the game, Steve Wallace was there, Fabian Walker was there, great from Chamblee. Harris Barton obviously was there, and got. We'll talk about the ceremony in just one second, but the defense. I got to touch on the defense. Last week we had the chance to talk to a couple of defensive starters with Remy and Jack Abbott. Talk about those guys' contributions to and really the entire defense.
Oh.
I mean, they were flying to the ball.
It was amazing. I mean, it was the best performance. And we shut out Pius a couple years ago, and it was a heck of a performance. But there was something about that performance Friday night where it was just relentless. It was just dominating, suffocating would probably be the best word for it. I mean, you could just tell that everyone from from the play calling to their quarterback, they were not comfortable all night on offense. Chamblee wasn't, and it's. I mean, our coaching staff had them ready, but really those boys, I mean, our defense, all 11. We preach 11 hats. You've heard us say it over and over and over. And it's cool when we go back and watch the broadcast, that's what they were talking about. They're like, man, Dunwoody flies to the ball. And that's just a testament to Coach Gentry and the staff. They've been saying that all along, and it shows.
Yeah, on the rare occasion that they made a completion, the hats that got to the ball so fast.
So fast.
They do, obviously, hats off to Chamblee in the sense that they had a lot of receivers, they had a lot of big names, names that you recognize that contributed on that team. And every time one of those guys caught the ball, and there were obviously a handful of plays where they did get some yardage, but man, we got to them so fast, and unfortunately they did get the one touchdown, which was really just a long pass,
right.
But even the DBs, Antonio Farabeat had a great knockdown on a long pass, but up front. All the guys just really contributed.
Right. We talk about complementary football, and I know Coach Gentry said it. I mean, the game was over. Like when we scored at the end of the second quarter, we ran off about 4.5 minutes and kicked the field goal, and then we ran off the first 9 minutes of the third quarter and scored. And that was, we counted it up like 27 plays and 13.5 minutes of football where we had the ball the whole time. And,
their defense.
Right.
After that 9-minute drive in the second half, their defense was just really done. I don't think there was any give, and it wasn't. And I'll say Jack did a great job of really controlling the game and running it at that pace, which isn't always easy to do, right? So he's doing that. But then, your workhorses and the running back get it. And when we had to, pass the ball, he passed the ball effectively and got it down the field.
I hate when the term game manager has a negative connotation for a quarterback, because that's what every quarterback should be, is the game manager. They should manage the field, manage the game. And in our no-huddle offense, and one thing we did a lot more on Friday that we don't normally do is shift. We shift in motion and shift it again. That's the quarterback runs all of that. You know what I mean? So yeah, Jack might not have had the numbers he did, but he ran that offense the way we needed to for the win.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't necessarily see it on the stat board, but it is managing the game. So great discipline, a lot of preparation. It all paid off to get the win over Chamblee, secure the playoff spot now the third year in a row. Talk about how important that is to you. 3 years in a row to make the playoffs. Dunwoody hasn't done that since mid-'90s, maybe, something like that. That's a big deal.
It is a big deal, and I think this is where we should be every year. I think the playoffs should be the floor, and I don't mind putting it out there and kind of putting a little target on it, but that's where we should be every year. We should be a playoff team moving forward, and and now we're in a position where we're fighting for a spot that's going to be pretty fun Thursday night.
Against Shiloh. And then to top it off, the game was Friday night. Saturday, you got to go take some players down to the Hall of Fame and watch Harris get inducted. Kirby Smart was there. A lot of big names. If you know Georgia football, there are a ton of guys being inducted in that class. How important was that to be there for Harris? How important was it for the team to see what was going on?
It was cool. The thing is, now we have a connection to that, right? Harris Barton has a connection to now the future of Dunwoody. Unfortunately, one of the many things we lost with Coach Nash, I mean, let's be honest, was he had that connection to Harris, right? I had never met Harris, now as we move forward in this program, we have a connection with one of our most notable alumni in football. And then we showed him the support he could serve, and you could see, it hit him. The players can tell you, it meant something to him that we are there. And in his acceptance speech, this guy's getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. He asked all of our players to stand up. We had over 50 showed up.
Wow.
Over 50 of our boys get up a Saturday night to come and see a man get inducted to the Hall of Fame that they didn't know. But they did it because I asked them to do it. because this is important for football. We had over 50 kids show up, and it really meant something.
Got on buses and went
Got
down.
on buses, went down there. We scrambled around and got some chicken tenders for them to eat because everyone was starving. You know, it was a good night.
Yeah,
So.
that is so cool and
Yep.
really once in a lifetime thing. And you know, hopefully Harris appreciates that, and clearly he does. And we'll see him around the program more often. I know he lives out in San Francisco, but love for him to come back more often and see us. So, well, good. Well, I'm going to transition a little bit and maybe talk to a couple players here. And one of the things that you preach, Coach, is winning in the trenches. And these two guys are in the trenches every day. And one's hurt, but we'll talk about that in 1 second. So we've got here on my left Luke Mitchell. Everyone knows him as Moose. Ask him about that nickname in just 1 second. And then our offensive lineman, defensive lineman, Jace Gonzalez-Rubio are both here. So starting with you, Luke, where's the name Moose come from? Can I just call you Moose now? Do you go by Luke at all, or is it?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
I really do go by Moose. So the name Moose came from junior lacrosse and youth lacrosse. So I had a team with 4 or 5 Lukes on it, and my parents needed something to call me. So it was either going to be Lucky or Moose. And the deciding factor in that was I had a stuffed animal, Moose, and that's how that got decided.
You look like a yeah. It fits you though.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't pull off a moose. You can pull off the moose.
Well,
Big lacrosse player, getting ready for lacrosse. Now you got injured in our Arabia Mountain game, so you've been out now a couple of games. You gonna be ready for lacrosse season? What's the prognosis?
Yeah. I'm hoping so. My follow-up appointment is tomorrow, or we'll get more information on that. But no surgery, just a lot of PT. So, you know, we're working on my way back up to playing.
Excellent. How long have you been playing lacrosse for most of your life?
Since about 3rd grade, 2nd grade.
Okay. And when did you pick up football?
About 8th grade, really and truly. I played Pee Wee a little bit at Murphy Candler, but I quit and then restarted in 8th grade.
Okay. So you played junior Wildcats and then came back, is that right? And coach saw you in the hallway or something and said you got to come back and play.
Well, I was at morning workouts January 8th in freshman year, so
yeah,
that's kind of how that got started.
Okay. So looking forward to lacrosse season. What position you play in lacrosse? Defense. Okay. So what do you call those? Or middies? What do you call those guys?
I have no idea.
Long poles.
Long poles. Thank you. My son plays is goalie, so I should probably know these positions. I don't know lacrosse as well as I know. I have to take the Nash refresher on lacrosse to figure out how he got into it. All right. So.
I think he refreshed himself every spring. On
I had to figure out how lacrosse works. Well, it's just random penalties. If you ever go to a lacrosse game, they'll throw the penalty, they'll throw the flag, and then nothing stops. They just keep going, and you're like, well, I don't understand. And then checking and stuff. There's a lot to it. All right, so I did get some questions from your parents. You're a big fisherman, right? You like to fish.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things they did tell me, and I don't know if you can do it here in front of Coach Schmitz, but I hear you do a great Coach Schmitz impression.
I do. Right? I do a great Coach Schmitz impression.
Can we hear it?
No, it's getting saved for the banquet. So show it to the
banquet.
Oh,
we don't get to see it on the.
No, I'm saving.
Oh my gosh!
I've heard about this for years.
Okay.
I've heard about this impression for years. I have not seen it.
You've not seen it.
I have not seen it. December 8th. It's unveiled. December 8th.
Wow. What drew you to playing offensive line? What was it? Just your size? They were like, you got to get in there and block.
We had a really good offensive line coach my freshman year, and Coach Nash encouraged me to play offensive line. He encouraged me through lacrosse to do it.
Okay.
So that was how I got encouraged to play offensive line.
Oh, okay. Awesome. And then I've found out you've been accepted to Kentucky, Mississippi State, Arkansas, and Alabama. What are your plans after high school? What do you want to do, and where do you want to go?
Well, hopefully I'm going to college. Hopefully they don't take those away. But, economics, ag economics, poultry science, something in that area.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm interested in.
Any one school standing out to you right now?
Arkansas. Really big Arkansas kind of guy right now. But hopefully Clemson gets back to me and UGA gets back to me.
Yeah. Sometimes they can take a while to get back to you. But, well, congratulations. That's a great achievement, and to be accepted to those number of schools, and a Boy Scout too, right? Was that your Boy Scout?
I was for a little bit.
All right, that's awesome.
Football took over.
Eagle School? Eagle Scout? No, just Boy Scout.
It's hard to make it.
It is hard.
It's a lot of commitment, and a lot of camping. I think you got to, I don't know, what the camps and stuff. I know I could never do that. All right. Change our attention now to senior offensive line, defensive line, Jace Gonzalez-Rubio, if I got that right, plays both offensive and defensive line. Is that right?
Yes, that is right.
Which one do you prefer?
I prefer offensive line a lot more, if I'm being honest. And I've been playing offensive line whole 4 years of playing football, freshman through senior year now. So.
Okay. What got you started in football? What did you play? Junior Wildcats? Did you play at Murphy Candler?
Actually, no, I didn't play Junior Wildcats or Murphy Candler. At Peachtree, it was early in the morning. I had a friend saying, hey, you got to come to morning workouts. They would love you there. And so I decided next morning, I decided to pull up, and they were introducing me to the whole team and everything. After that, I'm like, yeah, I love this. I want to do this. So that's what kind of got, the spark, started. That's what I wanted to do.
I bet he hasn't missed a day since, too. Jace never misses.
Is that right? You never miss a day?
Probably one or two there. But no.
You enjoy the workout aspect of it? Is that what got you started? And that's
the workout aspect of it, and team building, and getting to be there with with your friends, your brothers and everything.
yeah. So tell me about that. So what's the importance of being a senior and passing on that work ethic to the younger guys?
Being a senior and passing on that work ethic, definitely tells them that, listen, you keep doing this, you're going to end up like this, so keep working hard, keep grinding, keep showing up to these workouts, keep showing up to practice every day. You're going to get better and you're going to get better, and it's not going to stop if you keep doing it. So.
And what helps you win on the offensive side? What helps you win the battles in the trenches? That's a tough role to have, right?
It is really tough.
You don't get a lot of accolades sometimes unless you messed up, right? People notice when you mess up, but talk about that. How important is that to win in the trenches?
Definitely really important to win in the trenches, especially, when you're going with guys who are either, same size as you, smaller than you, or especially a lot bigger than you. Because, with Georgia football, definitely we have linemen across different schools across the state, that are big. And it can definitely either be an easy task or a really hard task. And, you got to be tough, you got to grind out there. You definitely got to be quick with your hands and your feet out there. So that's what definitely gets you winning out there in the trenches.
And are you a wrestler as well?
I am a wrestler as well, yes.
Okay. So talk about how important wrestling is in a lot of that.
So I've been wrestling for 5 years, 8th grade through currently now. And wrestling definitely helps, especially if you're a football player and a lineman, because it helps with your agility, your speed, footwork, definitely being aggressive. Because when you're a lineman, you got to be aggressive in the trenches. So that definitely helps a lot with it. And definitely helps, be able to control your stamina, especially also control your breath work, so you're not tired throughout the game or you're not tired throughout your match or anything.
Yeah, and we talked to Remy last week, and how important wrestling was for him and some of the stuff that he does, even at the linebacker position. But it's one of the things that I really wish we had more kids that did wrestling.
We're trying.
That's
the plan.
It is such a huge benefit for the program
That's
in
the
every
plan.
position. To see guys out there that do it, and we just haven't had. I think wrestling maybe is bigger up north, than it is in the south. But I'd love to see the wrestling program.
We got an offensive line coach and an assistant wrestling coach now, so that's not a coincidence.
That's excellent. Well,
Yep. It's not a coincidence.
So Jace, what influenced you the most from in the game? Are there any players that you look up to that you like to emulate after?
Could you repeat that one more time?
Are there any players that play today that you emulate yourself after? Whether it's professional or college or anyone else that you say, I kind of want to be like him.
Me being my size, right now the Atlanta Falcons O-line, Chris Lindstrom, their right guard, I look up a lot to him, and their right sideline, Chris Lindstrom and Elijah Wilkinson. Right now, because I've been a Falcons fan all my life, and so I look up to them definitely. The teamwork that they do, the team chemistry that they have while working together, and especially rookie as well, Patriots, Will Campbell as well.
Okay.
Of them being a tackle, because even though it's his first year playing pro, he's a dog out there with blocking for Drake May.
Yeah.
And playing in one of the hardest positions in football right now.
Well, again, I'll go back to it, and you guys are instrumental. The running game at Dunwoody has been so key this year, and the success that we've seen at that position, it all comes down to the offensive line. And I think even Bradley said it when after the game about how important it was for the offensive line to keep doing what they're doing, because that's the success of the team is right there. So congratulations. What are your plans after high school?
Plans after high school, definitely to go to college, 4-year school, and that's my plan right now. I definitely want to go up north, because I do have a lot of family up north in the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania area. Right now, some schools that I'm looking at are Rutgers, Penn State.
Okay.
Some others up there. Definitely, I want to major in between history, law, or business to get something going around there.
Okay, excellent. Well, good stuff. Well, guys, really do appreciate you coming out and talking to us. And I know everyone loves to hear about the players, and it was really cool to meet you guys. And good luck. I want to see you at lacrosse. Do you play lacrosse as well?
I don't play lacrosse.
You don't play. Yeah, you didn't go to that. You do wrestling. That's good enough. So, but I really do appreciate it. We're going to bring Coach in. Where is Coach? Coach DJ, you want to come on over here and grab one of these mics?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Just be careful with the cords. Go around that way. There we go. Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it, and we'll see you on. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Thank you. Couldn't think of when the game was. All right. So joining us now is linebacker coach DJ Lipina. Am I getting that right? All right. Cool. DJ, tell us a little about yourself. Where'd you come from?
So I'm a military kid, so I moved around a lot. But hailing from Knoxville, Tennessee, that's where Dad retired. So that's where I went to college.
So where all did you move to when you were in
that is a like meatball of a question. If I was born in Alaska, lived in Tokyo, Japan. That's where the Instagram handle comes from. Virginia, Ohio, Germany as a toddler. So military life gets you just all over the place.
Where did you pick up football? Like, how did you get involved in football?
So football is why, that's why I'm coaching. Is as a military kid, you got to move around so many times, and you don't really have a set group of friends, and you don't really have a sense of I don't know where I'm going to be. But with football, like you get to have that family. Moving around a bunch, you don't have that, but football's always there. So
yeah,
that was kind of like second nature. Everywhere I went, I at least had my football guys with me.
So when you would move to a new location, there would be a football team. You just quickly join the football team and kind of get to know kids.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. So like it was just always okay. I don't know where I'm at, but I know I'm gonna get on to a football team and I'm gonna get engaged with the players, the team, and that's how I'd make friends.
What did you play? What was some of your positions in high school?
So in high school in Tokyo, they were a little bit undersized. So I was playing offensive line as a freshman, and then I moved to Tennessee. They tried me out at corner, realized I'm a little too slow for that, and I finally sophomore year I got into linebacker. And I found I really like hitting people.
So did you play other military folks? Did you play like citizens?
So the way it worked in Alaska, we'd play the other local places, and then when we moved to Japan, it would be more you're playing like the off-base teams sometimes, and then sometimes you would play the on-base teams. So like when it comes playoff time, you'd go and you'd take a flight to Korea to play the Korean schools over there.
Oh wow, that'd be pretty cool though, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So then you ended up in Tennessee, and then so how did you make it down to Dunwoody?
So funny as it seems, the internet's a crazy place. My head coach was getting removed over at Bearden High School up in Knoxville, Tennessee. So I was really itching. I'm 24 years old. I'm thinking I really want to take a shot at. I'm ready for a position coach.
Yeah.
I want to take that leap of faith, and Coach Gentry reached out to me through Twitter. We struck it up, got on an interview. I really just drove home that I'm addicted to just becoming a better coach, and just I love the grind. I love the chess match. That is, I want to know every single rock, paper, scissors answer there is to a schematic option, so that I just want to keep on getting better. And we struck it up, and he got me down here, and it was kind of just history after that.
That's awesome. And you got a great group of players that they're playing for you right now. Talk about maybe some of the guys that are contributing right now.
Yeah, as a first-year position coach, I really couldn't be set up better with just some absolute studs at linebacker. Jake Greenfield and David Remagayo, just two of the smartest kids that I've ever even had in my short time as coaching. It's just like, if you got guys as smart as that, it makes my job look way easy.
Yeah. What about some younger kids that are maybe coming up?
And then on top of that, the thing that even draws me closer to Dunwoody is this young group that we've got is insanely good. And it gets me excited thinking about Bobby Abbott's going to be in a position where he's going to be leading this core in a second. And then I've got kids that I didn't even expect that necessarily you say, they didn't really look the part, but they get on that football field and they show you like, oh, okay, you've got a little moxie to you. Like Christian Head was a head turner that I just didn't expect to, okay,
Yeah.
you actually want to go and hit somebody. I
Yeah,
like it.
Little missile, man. He's going
Oh,
to go
yeah.
after it. Yeah, I remember him. He played running back actually in junior Wildcats, and so I could see him flipping to that linebacker
Yeah,
position.
that linebacker core next year is just it's going to just pick up right where it left off. You got injured guys like Drew Gust, who's also only got a chance to really see him for a little bit, but fast.
Right.
And then Sebastian as well. Sebastian's going to be great for us next year.
Yeah, and that linebacker crew, they do such a good job of flying to the ball and have just been so aggressive all year. And again, I go back to, I mean, Greenfield and Remy both, you can't say their name enough during a broadcast because they're out there on every single play. And
Right.
it becomes redundant after a while to keep saying their names
I
because
like
they're
that.
they're in every play and always making, whether it's something on the edge or coming after the quarterback, they've always done a good job. So short week this week. So we've got played Friday night, but we have a game now Thursday. What are some things you guys need to think about with a Thursday night game versus a Friday night game?
Body, the kids' bodies getting healthy is a quick turnaround. So how we practice, the reps we practice, because you're condensing, you're losing a day, right? Obviously. So that's kind of was our concern in our staff meeting Sunday night, making sure that we're getting these kids mentally ready without taxing them too much physically before Thursday night, is the main thing. And then it's just, keep doing what we're doing, just do it with one less day. I mean, we're in a good rhythm, of how we practice, the way we practice. So we don't want to change up too much, but just make sure that the kids are healthy or that are banged up, need to be healthy.
Just to get that one extra day is really tough. We can maybe turn our eyes a little bit to the next game up, which is Shiloh, last game of the season. Good team. I mean, obviously 5-1 in the region right now, sitting in second place. This game is huge for not necessarily getting in the playoffs, but certainly for playoff placement. What right now, when you look at Shiloh, what are you seeing?
They're a physical football team, but so are we, and that's kind of the way we've said it all week on Monday, before I think, we would come into a game as a staff and we'd be like, all right, we got to match their physicality, guys. We better be ready to match their toughness. And, now we're not that anymore. We are physical. We are tough. But this is a team that can match our physicality and toughness, so we got to be ready for that. And, you're going to see them when they get off the bus. You're going to see them in warm-ups. They are bigger, stronger, and faster than most of the teams we have played this year. So that's the big challenge, just making sure we're ready for that.
Yeah, interesting season they've had, though. Started off the season 0-4, losing the first 4 games, but then have just rattled off win after win. A couple of common opponents. They beat Lakeside 39-20. They beat Arabian Mountain 42-7, which is kind of a surprising number there. And then Chamblee 40-22. So allowed Chamblee to maybe give up a few more points than you would have expected with that defense that they've got.
Right.
But a couple of offensive leaders, they do look balanced across the board with senior quarterback, senior running back, and they spread the ball around to a lot of different receivers. What are some challenges maybe from the linebackers coming up with the defense for Shiloh?
So it's just they do a good job of mixing up what they throw at us, but it's nothing that I haven't told these kids that we can't handle. It's something that, we've got to be the smartest kids out there and be able to see the play a little bit before. I like to go back often to a Luke Kuechly clip of being able to envision the play that's happening before it even snaps. So, I mean, with Greenfield and Remigio, they got that on lock.
Yeah. So what about on the offensive side? We talked about the offensive line tonight. What's the strength of Shiloh's maybe defense? What is it that we're looking at today?
They've got some couple of really good players across the board, but I think the strength of their defense is there's not really a weakness. Just being honest. They've got. Like I said, they're going to look the part when they get off the bus. They're going to look the part in warm-ups. Their bodies are going to be bigger than we're used to seeing. And then. Then what are they going to do? What are they going to do? What are they going to come in and make us do? And I think at some point on Thursday night, we're going to have to win battles one-on-one on the outside. I think at some point they're going to make us throw the ball. And, so we've got to be ready to do that when that time comes.
Okay.
Yeah.
On their offensive side of the ball, is it going to be more balanced? You're going to see more running-based attack, or is their quarterback going to pass it around a good bit?
They're almost an RPO team,
so
kind of pick your own poison what they do. They're balanced. I think obviously the RPO dictates what they will do, what the defense is going to do.
Okay.
So you can't really, predict the percentage. But I think, we are two very similar teams. I think we're made up the same way. We have the same philosophy on offense and defense. I mean, we're physical. We play smart football. We play complementary football.
Is it going to be
we're looking in the mirror.
RPO tempo? We're going to be seeing a lot of plays coming from. Will they take their
from
time?
them?
Yeah.
No. They're not fast. They're not slow.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's not a check with me. They're in a rhythm of what they're doing pretty well. Like you said, they started off 0-4 and they're on a roll now. They've won five straight, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're obviously pretty comfortable with what they're doing. You
Yeah.
know, so we just got to see how that kind of translates to what they're going to do against us.
Yeah, I was telling you, I couldn't pull stats because I can pull stats for DeKalb County, but I can't get them out of Gwinnett. And so they're obviously a Gwinnett-based team. And obviously, if you didn't know, that's where Coach Nash came from. So certainly, I don't know, someone did ask me if there was going to be any kind of presentation for Nash because of the impact he made at both programs. So I don't know the answer to that, but we'll see, and maybe there'll be a stadium announcement about that. Anything you're looking at that maybe we haven't talked about the game? Is there any particular player or unit that you want to identify?
Our kickers are great again.
Yeah.
Our kickers, we could always bring them up. They were great again. Our special teams didn't come that big of a factor, but Christian banged 2 field goals. The one punt Jude had, which was huge, first punt of the game, pinned him down inside the 10, and it was all hang time. And then he got us our 15-yard personal foul. Jude did, you know what I mean? So that was just like a 15-yard, fake punt.
He's
basically.
a great actor.
He is a great actor, So
maybe jumped up a little.
So
too
yeah,
fast.
our kickers were great again. I think we're rolling pretty good.
Yeah, touching on Christian too. I thought it was so important in the Chamblee game when there was a minute and a half left. I think we got the ball and we drove the ball down and got that field goal to make it 17-0 at halftime. Really, and then we get the ball to start the second half. So
there
just
was
that bang bang.
There's 13 minutes there where we had the ball. It was 3 minutes in the first, or like 3.5 minutes of the second quarter, then the first 9 minutes of the third quarter we had the ball.
Yeah.
And just kept that quarterback off the sidelines, and like you said, after that score in the third quarter.
It was kind of over. And I did love the fact, we've talked about this throughout the season, is the struggles we had at times, excuse me, in the red zone. And we, the offensive line again drove through, and we, made it. Those plays turned into touchdowns for Dunwoody at the end. So that's fantastic.
But it all went to stem from the defense and the field position. I think they only had 8 first downs. 160 yards offense. The time of possession was almost 3-1. It was just. It was a game as a head coach you'd be pretty proud of because everything clicked. Everything worked. Our staff did a hell of a job. The kids. It was a good night.
So now Jeff, turn our attention to Shiloh and stay focused.
Let's
and
go.
One more game. So not to look ahead beyond Shiloh, but when do playoffs start? Is it
Saturday morning? The bracket will come out Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
But the first round is until the 14th. There's a bye week. No one in the state plays next week.
Okay.
Okay. They started penciling that in, I think, after the hurricane that one year, kind of fixed the scheduling. I don't really like it, but that's what it is. So, we got 2 weeks off after this week.
Okay. And so we won't know the bracket until that time. So we could be anywhere from a two seed, maybe down even to a 4 seed. So our opponent, either we host a game or we'll be traveling, hopefully somewhere that's not in South Georgia.
It won't be. It's not. Yeah.
We know that.
We know one of the 4 teams. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
we won't get into that.
It won't be that big of a drive.
Yeah. There's obviously some big names in our region. So we'll a lot of those will be known soon. So we're excited about it. Thursday night game. I know I'm kind of glad that it's not on Halloween. The kids can go enjoy Halloween then on Friday night. Maybe stay focused on Thursday night. And
we need people out, man. Even though it's a Thursday and a 6:30 kick, that's different. It's a 6:30 kickoff, which the cab moves it up. Yep. It's one of those things the cab wants to do.
It's all over the place. We played at 8 o'clock last week, 6:30 this week. You never really know.
So it's just one of those things. But 6:30 kick on Thursday, man. We need everybody there. It's a huge game for Dunwoody. First time to host a playoff game, 2008, if we win.
So huge. So huge for Dunwoody and successful to you and your staff. Just everything that you guys have put in this year has just been great, and to see it come to fruition that we make the playoffs again. with a lot of turnover on that, last year's team, and to make it again is so big, and avenge some losses from last year too, which has been a lot of fun. So, all right, well, good stuff, guys. Really do appreciate you guys chatting with me, and it's good to meet you. And welcome to Dunwoody. Hope you make this your permanent home. It's a great
Love
place
to.
to live. Yeah, it's a great place to live, and hopefully you found everyone being very welcoming to you. And
That's been great.
Good.
It's
Good
been
stuff.
great.
All right, well, everybody. Well, we will see you on Thursday night, 6:30. Make it out to the game, and we'll see you there. If not, we will have it live streamed if you're not able to make it, and we'll see you then. See you guys.
All right. Thank you.